Queridos amigos, en esta ocasión nos encontramos en una misión especial para Cinepolis. Esta es la segunda vez en el año que vamos con dirección a Los Ángeles para entrevistar. A mí siempre me emocionan las colaboraciones que hacemos con Cinepolis. Y francamente, ya extrañaba entrevistar. Pero queridos amigos, no se dejen engañar por las nubes. No vamos por Toy Story 4. Nuestro objetivo en esta ocasión es entrevistar al elenco de Annabelle, la Creación.
She's back. The doll. The devil. Annabelle.
Queridos amigos, nos encontramos en Los Ángeles, California, para realizar las entrevistas con Annabelle. Esta gran aventura comenzó hace 4 años, pero finalmente ha llegado el momento para descubrir dónde surgió de esta muñeca y cómo es que empezó toda la creación.
First of all, I would like to know, for some horror movies, there have been awful stories about sets being cursed and actors doing terrible after the movie is complete. So, just like with the original Poltergeist. So, I would like to know, did any of you experience some paranormal activity while filming on set?
No, I'm okay. Thank you for asking.
Yeah. No, actually the set was blessed by a priest, so maybe that helped. But yeah, I never saw anything paranormal, and I've been doing okay afterwards.
Oh, it has like a certain gravitas to it.
It's a strong name,
Hector, right?
Hectoring.
Hector.
Well, for me, as a movie fan, I like to think that what makes a horror movie iconic is the characters. And since you two were my favorite characters in the movie,
Thank you.
what do you think is the key for having an iconic horror movie?
I mean, I think so much of a horror movie to me is how it's shot. You could shoot the same scene in a different way and it wouldn't be scary. To me, what's frightening is always the way the perspective of how you see something. But I guess the other iconic thing is, particular images. So in this film, you've got the isolated house, you've got the doll, you've got these kids who have no parents, who are, kind of lost in some way. And then, I don't know, my character is iconic is sort of like the mysterious lady who's behind the veil, behind the mask, behind the door. Who is she?
Because, like, for example, I think they reshot Psycho, shot by shot, right?
That's right.
And it didn't have the same effect, which kind of goes to prove that there's like these X factors that you can't really define. There's a life to a film. There's an X factor to a film that even if you recreate it shot by shot, it just doesn't. It doesn't. Yeah, I don't know what that is that translates onto film, but there's an energy, or there's a presence or force behind it.
It's a presence.
With a direct. Yes. Do you know what I mean?
No, I do. I mean, there's something, you can have all the right elements and put them together, and something cannot work out. And there's something where you're not sure how it's going to come together, and it just works.
Somebody could do like the perfect imitation of a Picasso, and maybe even sell it. But there's something about it that's not. I don't know whether. Yeah, I think that shows that, like in art in particular, and if it's not done with passion, then it comes across as imitation.
Lulu, you have a lot of experience when it comes to horror movies. And Talitha, after watching Annabelle Creation, now I know you're an expert in making me cry. So I would like to know, as an actress, what's so satisfying about making your audience afraid and terrified?
I think honestly it's just the fact that they reacted so strongly to your performance, because that's all you want as an actress, is just when you're crying in a scene and you're letting your whole heart out and you're feeling very vulnerable, you want the audience to feel that too. And honestly, when you're trying to be creepy, you want them to be scared. You want them to really feel like what you're feeling in a scene. I think that's the job of an actor.
I feel like it just feels really good because you feel like you did what you had to do and you feel very accomplished and you feel like you could really do anything at that moment.
Ahorita mismo nos encontramos en un set recreado que es igual al cuarto de Vi, la niña que alguna vez fue una dulce chica antes de un trágico accidente, antes de que se convirtiera en una entidad malvada, antes de que se convirtiera en la niña que conocemos como Annabelle.
It's hurting, Janice! I'm getting rid of it!
Queridos amigos, ahorita mismo nos encontramos con el padre Robert para poder hablar un poco acerca de la experiencia religiosa que ocurre dentro de las películas de horror. Could you please tell me how common it is for the religious community to be asked to participate in a horror movie?
What I've been asked to do is to explain a little bit about how the occult is something very dangerous, and as much as we are trying to see how this it plays a role in the film, we're still trying to get people to be aware of that's something they shouldn't be playing around with in their lives.
Oh, got it. Yeah. And you know, what I noticed in the film is that their fate doesn't work as much as we see in The Conjuring or in any other horror films. Mm-hmm. Why is that? What's so different about this movie? Why it doesn't work?
One of the things that comes to mind is that you've got the two people who invited the demons into their house. As much as at one time they had faith, they seem to waver because they're so desperate, because their child is no longer with them, and they seem to be wavering in their faith at that point, and they're asking for anything to help them. As a result, they're inviting a demon into their house.
We soon realized it wasn't our daughter.
Have you ever been invited to a movie set? Because I've heard stories about kind of scary things happening while on set, of people wanting to be kind of protected. Mm-hmm. When a priest or a father or a religious entity goes into a movie set, what do they normally do?
Well, normally I'm just to be on hand. If they would like me to do a blessing, I can do a blessing on the set. In fact, I was just blessing the doll yesterday. Oftentimes I'm present just to ask or answer questions.
Well, also, I remember that back in 2014, the first movie didn't get the reception that a lot of people might have wanted. But I think this movie's different, and I really liked it, and I really enjoyed it. So I would like to ask you, as a protagonist and as a director, how does it feel for you to be a part of the movie and one of the reasons why the doll is back on track and towards the right direction?
It wasn't just the first movie again, you know, that they wanted to do something a different story with different characters and really try something different out.
Yeah, and it's not like Annabelle is back, but actually is Annabelle is born. You know, you get to see where, how, why, the reasons why she's an instrument for evil, and that responds to a lot of questions I had myself about the first movie. Yeah.
There have been several famous dolls in horror movie history. For example, Saw, Dead Silence, even something like Goosebumps. But Annabelle seems to be the queen of them all.
She is.
Maybe surpassing even someone like Chucky, who has been in the business for a long time. So I would like to know, as a doll maker, not the wife.
Do you include the leprechaun?
Sorry?
Do you include the evil leprechaun?
I don't think it's doll.
What was that movie? There was like a doll.
Yeah.
And what was the
He looked like a
ventriloquist
doll.
doll?
Huh?
Sort of.
Which doll?
Why has she become so iconic and so recognizable in a short amount of period?
I think her design is a part of that. Like there's something in her where she's very sinister looking, but at the same time, you know, with the plaits and the hair, you know, she looks like she should be an innocent little doll, but there's something very sinister about that face.
You were saying that yesterday, but
yeah. You gave her a makeover.
I gave her, yeah, I fixed it up a little bit. She looked a bit too unhappy, so I gave her a little bit
of eyebrows and
too much
smile.
See, but that's what happens when you get too much plastic surgery. Annabelle's had too much plastic surgery.
That's the lesson we're gonna get from this movie. Got it.
She's got that.
I feel like just because she's a real story, she's a true story of this doll locked away in Connecticut who's blessed 3 times a week by a priest. I think it's just crazy that stuff, bad things actually happened when her presence was around.
It's really fun for me to see people scared over a doll, because, you know, it's something that normally will cause joy and happiness, just like a clown. So I would like to know, why do you think people are so afraid of these things that were created with such nice intentions?
Well, I don't even think it's all dolls. Just how could you not be scared of Annabelle? Her face is so creepy. Yeah. It's hard not to be. Like on set when I met her at first, I was like, oh, I don't think I'm gonna be scared of her. And then when you get up close, it's like, whew, okay. Yeah. I feel like people are scared of dolls in general because there's nothing behind their eyes and their expressions are usually really deadpan. So it's just creepy, like what are they thinking, what are they about to do?
De niños siempre nos han dicho que los monstruos se ocultan en el armario. En esta ocasión, quizá una muñeca también. Y quién sabe qué pueda pasar cuando nosotros mismos entramos en este